Then you on here.
What's my view? Have you?
Yeah, I look at it. I
break it down.
I think it's all skewed down. But that's what the purpose of doing the show is to see, okay, one thing you gotta understand about statistics and all that all of it is up for interpretation. That's a particular purpose. Sometimes when you got data, you have to measure it against common sense.
YouTube basically reversed itself. It reversed itself by going after a guy with my friend, Stephen Krause. He said, well,
but I have all abound. I am full, having received of Epaphroditus, the things which were sent from
Shapiro.
an odor of a sweet
Hey,
smell.
what do you like me, Shapiro? What do you
First of all, he
Well pleasing to God. Pay close attention to
propagates a lot
But my
of
God
this.
shall supply all your needs
A lot
according
of
to his
this.
riches
He's
in
been
glory.
called on it. He gets triggered when you call him on his
Let me say that again.
misinformation.
But my God shall supply all your
I know a lot of people, I ain't really heard much about it, like Candace Owen. I didn't realize how many people know Candace Owen. She used
Jesus.
Yeah. You know,
I want to talk to you today
2 years
about
ago, she was
God
Democrat.
is your source and not your
Just go
resource.
see what now?
she was a Democrat.
Was she?
Yeah.
God is your
Matter of fact.
source,
What's up with Diamond and Silk?
not your resource.
You ever seen that?
Unfortunately,
None of us.
there's the stuff you just can't unsee.
That God has already
Thank
set
you.
us in our life because we have not
We're gonna do about 3 minutes of the sermon.
Yeah, already 3 minutes.
God is our
You get about one more 4 minutes.
I've been going to the restroom.
Don't go. Do your thing.
Sometimes you think that
I missed about 2 hours.
you've accomplished what you've
Why you
accomplished
changed?
in life
But nobody
because you have
getting the money to support the people.
Oh, okay.
You know,
But
I
that
won't
good
take
job
it.
is not your
Not pay the
source.
church's bills,
That
be on
good
the
job
radio,
is
so
just
the
a
church comes first and
Oh,
resource.
yeah.
Because if that job
People
was
love
your
to listen. They love
source,
to tell you how much
that
they love
means
the
when
show.
that job plays out,
When it comes to
you
information,
play
I'm saying
out.
that I hope that homosexual show they got.
God is
They
your
got
source,
falling out the frame.
not your
They
resource.
show a year in advance.
Sometimes we think that because I married the right man, or I married the right woman,
Oh,
that's
yeah,
why
I have
have
heard.
what I have.
Mama gay.
But I got news for you. That man or that woman may leave you or may die. And if that man or that woman leaves you or dies, you just lost your source because you were looking at that as being your source, not your resource. If you start really realizing that God is the source of all your supply, that means if you take my house, I'm still all right. If you take my car, I'm still all right. If you take my wife, I'm still all right. If you take my job, I'm still all right because God is my source, not my resource. Once I realized that God was the source of my supply, the naysayers in my life had no more power.
Be happy to have parents.
Don't you think that I made this work without hitting some adversaries and some
They
brick
got somebody
walls?
that loves them. That should be paramount.
Even myself was an adversary in a brick wall. When God told me, Pastor, my church. Keep Pastor God. I was a drug addict, God. I knew that. I was a convict, God. I knew that. I was a deadbeat. Good evening, Memphis and the rest of the world. Welcome to another edition of The Truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me God. I'm Andre Guy Reed. Hey, Twan Brayton here. For the next hour, let's forget about the black man. Let's forget about the white man. Let's deal with the human from a Bible perspective, if you will. Feel free to call in at 901-452-3094 or 901-324-7490. Y'all gonna want to write them down today. It's a hot one. 901-452-3094 or 901-324-7490 for any comments, suggestions, agreements, or even disagreements we may have. We can agree to disagree without being disagreeable. Okay, it's Truth Radio Show brought to you by the Truth Radio Network. We deal with everything from sex, race, religion, politics, and even sometimes sports from a Bible perspective. At the end of the day, we let God have the final authority. Amen. Got an interesting guest on the show today. He's on the show. How long has it been since you've been on the show, John? About 2 years?
I think so.
About 2 years. Jonathan Richmond. Jonathan Richmond is a young man, and he has some interesting
ideal and statistic that he want to throw at you on a Truth Radio show. You know, we don't just do it subjective where it's got to be I'm right and my way or the highway. Or we throw it all out there, then let the truth rise to the top. Got a call already?
Yes, sir. You already know.
Let's see.
Unforgivable.
Okay, send Unforgivable in. Yes, Unforgivable. How are you today?
Hey, I'm doing great, Pastor Gerard. Thank you for accepting my call. I just got to talk about my friend Trumpy, man, because they up here trying to crucify this man, and this man ain't really, he might done a little something, but I don't think it's bad enough where he needs to be chastised being the president of the United States, and the Constitution needs to be kicked to the side. Because that's what I'm saying, man. I mean, it's just wrong, man. All the stuff that they're doing is wrong. I don't know what the hell is going on with these Democrat people, but they need to quit this stuff, man. This stuff ain't about the president of the United States. This stuff is about the Constitution, man. I mean, you up here telling you want to arrest the president, put him in handcuffs because he don't like nobody, because his attitude ain't right. It ain't about no Russian conclusion or whatever. You know, stop all that crap, man. I'm just saying, man. This Mr. George, I don't know, he's a representative from somewhere.
All right, Jim Jordan, but Unforgivable, I got to cut you off because they doing their thing. We got something special we got to do today. We got a special guest, and we got to get right into it.
Okay then, Pastor Guy. I'm just kind of a little set on the side, you know.
Don't worry about it. They don't making noise. That's all they doing, making noise.
It's just what you call some kind of thing they trying to do.
It's just an illusion. It's just an illusion. That's all.
Okay then, bye.
I believe that. All right, now Jonathan, before I go into it, tell us who you are. Jonathan Richmond, you're young. How old are you?
44 years old. Yeah.
Okay, are you a Democrat or Republican?
I am a Democrat. I vote Democrat.
You're a Democrat?
I'm a liberal.
You're a liberal Democrat?
Yeah.
Are you a Christian?
No, I wouldn't be classified as a Christian.
Okay. Are you married?
Yeah.
Okay, got any children?
No kids.
Okay, so you're a married liberal Democrat, would not be classified as a Christian. Would you classify yourself as being black?
Most definitely.
Okay, you black.
All you gotta do is look at me. You can see that.
Are you part of the Black Power?
Yeah.
Okay.
You can say that. I believe all power to all the people, but especially black people.
Okay. Especially black people?
Yeah.
Well, that's racist.
No, it's not.
The definition of racist, what is your definition of racist?
Of racist? Racism?
Mm-hmm.
It's prejudice plus power.
Well, now, do you read the dictionary?
Yeah.
What's the dictionary definition of racist?
I mean, I can look it up for you, but
well, I got one I carry with me when I go. But the clinical definition of racist is somebody who deems their race up to be superior above another race.
I never said that.
Well, you just said it.
I said all power to all of the people, especially black people.
Okay, so what about my white people?
All power to them too. But I'm dealing with my people because my people have been oppressed.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So they need more power.
Keep that thought in mind. Let me play a quick clip and then we're gonna get right into it, okay? Here we go. I ain't gonna play all of it.
Years ago, I interviewed Kwesi Nkrumah, then the president of the NAACP.
You don't act for
the presence of white racism. In the absence of black fathers, I asked him, which poses the bigger threat to the black community? Without missing a beat, he said, the absence of black fathers. It was President Barack Obama who said, we all know these statistics, that children who grow up without a father are 5 times more likely to live in poverty and commit crime, 9 times more likely to drop out of school, and 20 times more likely to end up in prison. The Journal of Research on Adolescence confirms that even after controlling for varying levels of household income, kids in father-absent homes are more likely to end up in jail. And kids who never had a father in the house are the most likely to wind up behind bars. In 1960, 5% of America's children entered the world without a mother and father married to each other. By 1980, it was 18%. By 2000, it had risen to 33%, and 15 years later, the number reached 41%. For blacks, even during slavery, when marriage for slaves was illegal, black children were more likely than today to be raised by both their mother and father. Economist Walter Williams has written that According to census data from 1890 to 1940, a black child was more likely to grow up with married parents than a white child. For blacks, out-of-wedlock births have gone from 25% in 1965 to 73% in 2015. For whites, from less than 5% to over 25%, and for Hispanics, out-of-wedlock births have risen to 53%. What happened to fathers? The answer is found in a basic law of economics. If you subsidize undesirable behavior, you will get more undesirable behavior. In 1949, the nation's poverty rate was 34%. By 1965, it was cut in half to 17%, all before President Lyndon Johnson's so-called war on poverty. But after that war began in 1965, poverty began to flatline. From 1965 until now, the government has spent over $20 trillion to fight poverty. The poverty rate has remained unchanged, but the relationship between poor men and women has changed dramatically. That's because our generous welfare system allows women, in effect, to marry the government. And this makes it all too easy for men to abandon their traditional moral and financial responsibilities. Psychologists call such dependency learned helplessness. How do we know that the welfare state creates disincentives that hurt the very people we're trying to help? They tell us. In 1985, the Los Angeles Times asked both the poor and the non-poor whether poor women often have children to get additional benefits. Most of the non-poor respondents said no. However, 64% of poor respondents said yes. Now, who do you think is in a better position to know? Tupac Shakur, the late rapper, once said, "I know for a fact that had I had a father, I'd have some discipline, I'd have more confidence." He admitted he began running with gangs because he wanted the things a father gives to a child.
Just hold it right there. Now, that video irks you, don't it, Jonathan?
No, it's just misinformation.
False information?
No, it's just misinformation.
Okay.
You're taking the stats out of context.
Okay, tell us the stats, what you concluded and came up with.
I didn't conclude anything.
Okay.
You had a CDC study, which was trying to find the most optimum living environment for the child. And upon that study, they came to the conclusion that black fathers, although not in the home, are in their children's lives even more so than their white and Hispanic counterparts. And they added the data to support that, right? So that's where I come from when I say that. I'm reading the data. The data. Also, Pew Research did their own study, came to the same conclusion. Now, unless you're saying there's a conspiracy, you'll have to prove that.
You know what I'm saying? That's skewed data. So
how is it skewed?
Well, it's simple. My lying eyes, being in an urban community with my ministry and growing up, my lying eyes see these young men on a daily basis, just like the man said with Tupac, that tell you how their life is going astray without a father. My lying eyes, on a daily basis, they see the result of these young men being raised by women, and these black fathers are not in their life. But yet, you read some data. What part of town you live in?
Hickory Hill.
Live in Hickory Hill. And you're telling me the majority of the other young men that you know live in Hickory Hill have fathers in their life, black kids?
I mean, I've seen them. I have friends who have tons of children, and they with them all the time. But I'm not going by what I see because I have a limited scope. I'm going by people who've done the research on this and who looked at it in every neighborhood. So and came to the conclusion. Excuse me if I don't take what you see.
My lying eyes, right?
You know, I don't take what you see to
because you have the data. You have the data.
Well, the people they've done the research.
Okay, I know some people did some research that said man evolved from a monkey. You believe them too?
They didn't say men evolved.
Charles Darwin's theory of evolution.
No, they didn't come from monkeys. They said primates.
What's a monkey?
That's different from a primate.
A primate is not a monkey.
No, a primate is a primitive humanoid.
What do you believe man evolved from a primate?
The data suggested it does.
Well, do you believe the data?
I mean, I guess I do.
Okay.
I haven't seen any data that disputes that.
What about no primates are turning into humans now with that? But then that's right, you don't believe the lion eye.
Well, I mean, that's what you call evolution, right?
Mm-hmm. So if evolution, that means it evolves? Why primates are not evolving into a man now?
I mean, it's macroevolution happening now, and you wouldn't be able to see it anyway because it's, according to science, I guess, it took millions of years, right?
Mm-hmm. Interesting. Okay.
Here we go.
You ever heard of a guy named Lee Harris?
Oh, God. That's a generic name?
He was a Shelby County mayor.
Oh, that Lee Harris. Yeah, I've heard of him.
What do you think about him?
I mean, I don't know. I voted for him.
You did?
Yeah,
okay.
I did.
What about a guy named Mike Rollins? You ever heard of him?
The director, Mike Rollins?
Police director.
Yeah.
What do you think of him?
I don't like him.
You don't like him?
No.
What about a guy named Doris Ray? You ever heard of him?
I don't think
he's the new superintendent of Shelby County.
Oh, him. Okay.
What do you think of him?
I don't have any. I didn't even know he was. Yeah, I didn't even know he was.
Okay.
Yeah. Well,
just so happened, because I called to invite you on the show Sunday to show you how God works in my life. Just so happened Monday, I look on the news and guess what I see, John?
What you see?
I see Lee Harris and Mike Rollins and Doris Ray. Let me play for you what I saw. I swear, this is interesting. Just at the same time, I got Johnson coming in.
Dr. Joris Ray was joined by several local leaders, from Shelby County's mayor to Memphis police director to Tiger basketball coach Penny Hardaway. The message? Our African-American male students are getting left behind. Some startling statistics were shared. When it comes to African-American male students, more are economically disadvantaged, graduate at lower rates, and earn lower ACT scores. Superintendent Ray's new plan will involve equity, education, and empowerment. The hope is to ensure access and exposure to rigorous instruction starting at pre-K and to recruit more African American males to teach in kindergarten through 5th grade.
As we do our part to invest in and uplift our African American males and help them to chart their course for a successful life as productive citizens, the entire community will reap the tremendous benefits. Simply put, our boys need us.
And I feel like this program will give that friend that doesn't have what they need to give them what they need to get their education, to better themselves, to be more than just another statistic.
Superintendent Ray is calling on community partners, philanthropic groups, and everyone in Memphis and Shelby County to support this initiative.
Now, Jonathan, if black men are in the lives of black males, as you say, it seems like they should be mentoring white males and Hispanic males and Asian males because they would be the one that's lacking in these father figures. Wouldn't you think?
I don't see the correlation.
You don't see the correlation?
No, being in the, I had 2-parent home. My father and my mother, they divorced when we were teenagers. But that didn't stop me from being a hoodlum.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? My father was a pastor. My mother was a preacher. You know what I'm saying?
And I can concur with that because the man I thought my dad died when I was 7 or 8, and my mother, I've never seen her commit crime.
He was in my life, but I was still a wayward child. You know what I'm saying?
So what do you attribute all of the crime and the deprivation going on in urban communities all across these United States to? What do you attribute it to if it's not lack of the father?
Hey, listen, crime may be a problem, but that's not the total story. And I definitely want to let people out there in radio land know that contrary to what you may hear on this radio station, most black people, overwhelming majority, black people, are good, upstanding citizens. They don't associate with criminality. In fact, they are hard-working, tax-paying people. And I'll submit to you this, that if black people in this city stop to work at one company in this city alone, it would have global repercussions. Not if white people, not if Hispanics, if black people stop working at one company here, it'll have global repercussions.
So if all the black people, are you saying a particular company or just any company?
No, just one particular company.
So if all the black people that work for, say, Palazzolo Fruit Factory.
No.
What particular company?
FedEx.
Okay.
Absolutely. FedEx would be done. You would have an economic crisis because of all the companies worldwide that depend on FedEx, and everything has to stop through here.
Well, I don't think that has to do with black workers.
I think
that has to do with the workers of FedEx.
FedEx, you misunderstand. You misunderstand. The overwhelming majority of FedEx employees in Memphis are black.
Okay.
They're not getting welfare. They're working 2 or 3 jobs just to make. But if you listen to news reports and listen to people like yourself, you would think there was a stigma with black people and that all they do is want welfare. And all they do is commit crime. And I'm here to tell you that that is absolutely false. That's absolutely false across America. Most black people, most, overwhelming majority, don't commit crime, don't kill each other.
Now, crime statistics do bear that out there.
They don't.
The majority of black people are not criminals, but there are 10% that are.
Hey, look, but I choose to define black people by the overwhelming majority, not the
overwhelming majority of who?
Of the ones who are not associated with criminality, or not killing people, or not committing, but they're contributing to society in a special way that if they were not, this country wouldn't be what it was.
Well, when you put your focus on those blacks that are not committing to a crime, then you set yourself up because these people, we got over 300 something. How many murders we got this year already? 100 and some, 200 and some, however many it is. There's no other ethnic group in the United States of America that has murder in their neighborhoods like the black community, that has poverty in their neighborhoods like the black community.
Where did it come from?
Come from the fathers not being in the house, for one thing.
No, because even when they had fathers in the house, it was still crime in the neighborhood. What are you talking about?
Oh, no, that's why I got you. Now, because see, I grew up in the 60s.
Okay.
And back in the 60s when we were growing up, it was very rare to find a household where the mother and father were not in the house.
Okay, but
we did not have black people. As a matter of fact, when I was growing up, that's why I joined the Panthers. The reason I joined the Panthers as a young man, 7, 8, 9 years old, was because when the violence on black people was perpetrated, it was perpetrated by the white police officers.
Yeah, I know.
But it wasn't because that blacks were killing each other, because blacks were so deprived.
Did you have any crime in the black community?
You've had crime ever since the beginning of man, but not like what we got now.
Okay.
And I wonder...
Has crime gone up in every community?
No, just black.
You need to check your statistics.
No, I got to check the statistics. I see the people every day when I'm reading obituaries.
Of course you read no obituaries.
I see it every day when they come on the news and they tell you
folks got it on the news.
Folks got shot yesterday.
That's not the full picture. That's just a snapshot.
A snapshot.
Yeah. You look around.
Let me ask you this. You heard of South Haven, Mississippi?
Yeah, I've heard of South Haven.
You've heard of Arlington, Tennessee?
You've
heard of Collierville, Tennessee?
Yeah, small town.
You heard of Middleton, Tennessee? All of these are right there on the outskirts of Memphis, right? I live in Middleton. Do you know Middleton has had 3 murders in the last 5 years?
Okay.
But it's right on the outskirts of Memphis. As a matter of fact, where I live at now is only 6 miles from where I lived at before when I was in Raleigh. I've had 3 murders in 5 years, right? But now Memphis, you have 3 murders in the next 5 hours. And I just can't help but notice, South Haven, they don't have that murder rate. Arlington, they ain't got that murder rate. Collierville, they ain't got that murder rate. Middleton, they ain't got that murder rate. All of them on the outskirts of Memphis. And the only difference I see between them and Memphis, you know what it is? They're all ran by Republican governments and Memphis ran by Democrats.
So the population don't matter.
Well, population always matters, and that's another thing.
Okay, so
with the per capita population of Memphis and the murders and the crime that they have,
and the poverty,
Memphis doesn't even have 1 million proper. But yet if you go per capita, they outrank Chicago.
Okay.
I mean, do you really think that there's no correlation that 3 out of 4 black children being born into single-parent households and the crime that's going on in the black community, you don't think they have nothing to do with each other?
I think it has a little to do with it. I think poverty has much more to do with it than that.
Where did poverty come from?
Lack.
Well, maybe it's like when I was growing up in the 60s.
Lack of opportunity, lack of access, like your video just said, right?
Like a what now?
Like your video just said, lack of access, lack of opportunity.
Because the lack of access come from the fact that they're not getting what the average child in America gets, a mother and a father.
No, it's not in there.
Man, when I grew up in the 60s, you had fathers that were carpenters, their sons were carpenters. You had fathers that were mechanics, their sons were mechanics. Now the boys are growing up now, instead of learning a trade, they learn how to go tattoo their body up, put earrings in their ear.
They probably got that from their father.
No, they got that from their mama.
They probably got it from their father.
And y'all hear 901-452-3094.
I know a lot of thugs that got it directly from their daddy.
When did they also have to get it directly from their daddy?
Most of them.
At the end of the day, though, this philosophy. Tell me, you don't have any children. Do you ever get an opportunity to mentor or talk to any children?
All the time.
In what kind of setting?
I mean, I'm a musician, so I'm mentoring and talking to the youth constantly.
You're a musician.
Yeah.
Your fellow musician Tupac, I just played it. He said that it is a definite correlation of his life getting off track from not having a father.
Okay.
Are you disagreeing with your fellow musician?
No, that's him.
Okay, that's it. We got a caller. Here we go, y'all.
Yeah, that's him. That's not. I mean, I wouldn't put that swipe on everybody.
Okay. Hello, caller. Welcome to the show.
Hey, what up, Pastor Guy? What's up, guys?
Oh, I'm glad you called, RC. I want you to come in too. I'm inviting you to come in the studio so I can get a chance to talk to you and your dialect as well. You want to accept the invitation?
Oh yeah, I might pick you up on that, Pastor.
Yeah, I sure want to get a chance to interview you. But go ahead. What you got, RC?
Oh yeah, I would love to challenge your opinion.
Come on in. What you got? What do you think about Mr. Richmond? Do you agree with him?
Okay, well, everybody has a point, okay? And so let me state my opinion where I see where things went wrong in the black community.
Okay.
Now, you mentioned the 60s just a moment ago, Pastor Guy.
I did.
Up until the 70s, I think things started to change in the black community in the 80s when the crack epidemic took control of the black neighborhood. Because the first thing it did, it took the father out the house.
Crack took the father out of the house?
Because the father...
Wait a minute. Was it crack that took the father out of the house, or was it blacks becoming dependent on welfare and food stamps? Because last time I checked, they didn't put the father out of the house because he was a crackhead, but they did put the father out of the house if they wanted to get their welfare check.
Pastor Guy, hold on. Let me make my opinion. Okay. Or let me state my opinion first. Okay, then we'll backtrack what you just said. Okay, from the 80s. You look at from the 80s when the crack epidemic hit the black family. It destroyed the black family by taking the dad out the house because now he owns crack or he's selling crack. And the son took the mother out the house from babysitting and taking care of the house. Now
the child's an orphan. And then now you do realize that you're saying something different than what Brother Richmond is saying, that the black man has not left the house.
I didn't say that.
Okay, well, tell me exactly what you said.
I didn't say that.
Tell me exactly what you said.
See, y'all focus on the black father being in the house. I'm not dealing with the house.
Okay, the black father, let me rephrase it then. The black father is more in his child's life than other ethnicities.
I mean, that's what the data says.
So I see what you're saying doesn't make sense because Brother Richmond, the black father, is in their child's life. So crack didn't do nothing.
No, that's not to say that that's good parenting going on in the house.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Don't say it. Doesn't
last time you was on my show, and that statistic that you showed me, it said that the black fathers were more involved in their child's education.
Yeah.
The black fathers were more involved in helping their child with their homework.
Yeah.
The black father was more involved in doing activities with bonding with the child.
That's why most black kids are not in jail.
Right?
Come on. Are they mostly in jail?
Well,
No, they're
not.
They're not. You got statistics showing me most black children in America are not in jail.
Well, the majority of black people are not criminals.
Yeah, that's a fun fact. That's a fun fact for y'all.
But now I submit to you, more black children have had a criminal experience than any other ethnicity in the United States.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. With these good fathers that's in their life.
Yeah, I've had a couple. I had a few. Hey, look, man, I would start a fight in an empty room.
Okay.
And I had a loving mother and a loving father. My mother used to beat my behind constantly. But it was somebody in the underworld.
Okay, RC, go ahead.
Okay, now, let's look at this situation. Okay, most of the kids you see in jail, most of the black guys you see in jail today are going to jail today is because of what? what would you say?
Breaking the law.
Drugs, right? You would say drugs, right?
No.
You would say drugs. Well,
I would say
let's say over half. Over half of the people who's being convicted from the age of 18 to 25, most of them have drug charges, right?
That's factual.
Man, you got robbers.
No, that's factual.
I know you have all those things, but they just look at the vast majority of those from 18 to 25 are dying there because of drugs. But they're non-violent
offenders.
They're non-violent criminals. That's the reason why the reform justice system has been reformed. Because of that reason, you're giving 20, 30 year sentences for drug charges.
You talking about the prison reform that Donald Trump did?
No, he didn't.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. He didn't do that.
Yeah, he did.
No, he just signed it. He didn't do that.
Don't tell nobody I told you, but if he don't sign it, it don't become law.
I know, but they've been working on it way before him.
And the people that supported Barack Obama that were in his cabinet, Dan Jones, I got the clip out there for you. They said that all of the stuff that Obama did, they got nothing done.
No, he was wrong. He went in. Listen, what is my brother's keeper?
What is my brother's keeper?
Yeah, that's an initiative from Barack Obama.
Are you?
Did you?
Yeah, you ever heard Bill McCarthy?
Okay.
Bill McCarthy started Brothers Keeper 20 years before Barack Obama became president.
Did he start for black people?
He started for all people.
No, this is particularly for black people. It's targeting black men.
Well, how'd that work out?
It's still going. It's successful.
It is.
Yes, it is.
The crime and the murder we got in black communities. I gotta let you go. I'll see we got another call. Okay.
They're not in all black communities.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And most people in those communities don't commit crime.
Okay. Hello, caller. Welcome to the show.
All I got to say, Pastor Guy, and your guest, it's all about responsibility, brother. I'm going to be honest with you. You know, I always used to try to put that monkey on somebody else's back where I was raised and all that stuff, on my mama, my father, on society. But when I stepped back and started looking in the mirror, I started taking responsibility, and my life completely changed.
Okay.
And that's the way I look at it, Pastor.
Okay.
You know, it's all about responsibility. I mean, you know, these young fellas out here, they doing this childish stuff, and they get old heads like me, and still doing this childish stuff, and they don't know better. That's on them. You know, I'm not trying to sit here and blame anybody of what kind of life that I came up with and how I came out. You know. Don't you agree with that, Pastor?
I'm trying to see how what you're saying add up to what we talking about. What we're talking about is he's saying that black men, whether they're in the house or not, are more involved in their children's life than any other race in the United States. And I'm saying that the problem in the black community is because the black men are not involved in those children's life.
Well, I'm going to be honest with you,
took it to another level.
Look, I'm not in every family house in America. I can only talk about my family.
Well, okay. What the people that you know?
Okay, let me just...
The majority of black people that you know, is the father in their household, in their life or not?
If some is and some ain't.
I said the majority. Which one is it? It's got to be either yes or no.
Well, if I had to take it as, in my case, I would say no.
Okay. Well, we got you notated.
And the next thing is, you know, it does make a difference.
It'll make a major difference. It makes a major difference.
Not to me. It
but you don't make up the populace of the United States. That's pretty good that it doesn't make a difference to you. And that's real good so you can live your life. But to that mother that's got to bury that 15-year-old child, or to that sister that's got to go and visit that brother in prison, it makes a major difference to them.
Well, Pastor, you got a point there, but I want to let you know something. See, I wasn't in a dysfunctional family. I had uncles.
You keep talking about unforgivable. That's real good for you. But what you're doing now, you're being selfish, though. All you're doing is looking at, this is what happened for me. We're not talking about for me as an individual, Andre. We're talking about the culture of black America, making up 13% of this 13% of the population of these United States. We're talking about these neighborhoods where you got folks murdering 3, 4, 5 people a day. We're talking about this poverty where you got neighborhoods covering 15, 20 blocks where you got nothing but gang graffiti and littering and people scared to sit on their front porch. We're not talking about as an individual, man. We're talking about black people as a unit.
That's what I'm talking about, Pastor. I mean, what is going on with all these uncles and cousins and brothers and
they obviously don't exist.
They not in these kids' life?
They don't exist.
According to you and Brother Richmond, they are in their life.
Hey, look, I'm telling you the data.
Okay, and I'm telling you the truth.
You thinking the kids popped up here just through a stork or something?
No. I'm thinking that these kids that come every Saturday to their church that needs counseling, that they need men mentorship.
How many thousands of kids are there coming in?
Well, in Memphis, Tennessee, hundreds of thousands.
Yeah.
Hundreds of thousands
of kids are coming. Hold on. Hundreds of thousands of kids are coming to your church.
No, not to my church. Hundreds of thousands of kids. You said how many kids are needed there?
No, I'm saying how many thousands of kids are coming to your church?
So you think you think Lee Harris and Penny Hardaway and Doris Ray and all those men that stood out there that went to start this initiative, that are reaching out to all calls, all the black men across the city of Memphis, they sit there and say, you know what? Black men are spending more time in their children's life than anybody else. We need to start a mentorship program to reach them. They don't need to be reached if a black man is already in their life.
Well, I mean, it's not. I'm not saying we don't.
I got y'all forget. I gotta get the next call.
Can I say a word?
Go ahead, make it quick.
No, let me finish this. Let me finish the statement right quick.
Let me say a word. I gotta get the next call.
He gone.
Okay.
Well, I was saying, I'm not saying that there isn't a problem, but I'm saying that it's not an overwhelming.
No, it can't be a problem if what you're saying is
no. I'm saying
that black men are more involved in children's lives. These guys will start these mentorship. These guys will start these mentorship programs. Yeah. They're picking the wrong culture.
No,
that means that the boys got to be in the white Hispanic.
Your association is all wrong.
Wow.
Because you're associating it with just absentee fatherism.
That's what they're associating.
No, they're not, man. They said lack of access, lack of opportunity. You know, Memphis is the distribution capital of the nation, right?
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
You agree with that?
Yeah, that's a fact.
It's a bunch of warehouses, so our education system is not conducive to people bettering themselves beyond a warehouse mentality.
Right? Hold up, man. You know, I'm going to attribute that to the fact.
Yeah, hold up.
I'm going to attribute that to the fact that you don't have children.
I'm just saying.
The only problem that Memphis got in the educational system,
it creates a poverty-stricken place.
The only problem that Memphis got a problem in the educational system is with the Shelby County public schools. Memphis, the charter school system and the private school system. Stacks Museum has had 100% of college placement for the last 4 or 5 years. Mars,
let me give you a public school.
Okay.
How many graduates you think East High School?
I don't know. I know the public schools in
That's a public school.
The public schools in Memphis are
That's a public school in Memphis.
The public schools in Memphis.
What about Central?
I don't, sir. Do you see these people constantly marching, telling you about save our failing schools?
Yeah.
Do you see that?
You know why? Do you know charter schools take money from public schools?
Charter schools are public schools.
No.
Like I said,
they're subject to no regulation.
Are you aware?
They can teach whatever they want to teach.
Are you aware that the third
grade... They can take the best teachers from the public school.
Are you aware that the third grade...
They take all the money from the public schools
this year.
They take all the best kids.
We ain't gonna do that, John. We ain't gonna do that.
I'm just letting you know. They take all the best kids.
Charter school don't take nobody because you got to volunteer your child for it. I thank God I did it for mine.
Yeah.
Are you aware
they don't take third grade students? Do they take trouble children?
Yes, that's all they specialize in.
They do.
You don't have a phase out here.
They send troubled kids back to the public school.
You don't have a clue.
Yeah.
Hello, caller. Welcome to the show. Hello, caller. Hello. There you go. If you took time, engage your brain give your brain some thought for engaging your mouth, you would understand. Charter schools, that's what they specialize in.
They don't.
Children that are troubled.
I know kids that are troubled kids that cannot get into charter schools.
Anybody can get into charter school. Okay.
All right. Anybody?
Hello, caller. Welcome to the show. Yes.
Anybody?
Hey, guys, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yes.
What a guess. What can I say?
Hey, man, it's something.
Say something profound.
And this guy's an educator.
Okay.
Where?
He said,
no, I'm talking about you're an educator.
Oh, well, this guy sounds like an educator, too.
For who?
What's his name? Jonathan?
Yeah, Jonathan Richmond.
Well, right
Are you
now,
an educator?
well, right now I'm schooling Reverend.
I'd rather be illiterate.
I know.
Well, what are you? Ask my question, if you will.
I'm not an educator, although I do teach on occasion when I'm mentoring.
Where do you teach?
All around the city, in my house. You know what I'm saying? When I mentor kids, they come over.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Would you explain to me the difference between whether a kid's father is effective with his children and what it's like if the child has a father that isn't in his life?
Well, I've been both.
No, I'm not talking about you.
Well, I'm speaking from my experience, right? So when my parents divorced, you know what I'm saying, I was with one parent, another one, and I've had it when they were both there, and both times, there was no change in my behavior. I was still hell on wheels, as my mom used to say. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that implies that your daddy didn't contribute anything.
No, he contributed what he could. I just had a mind of my own.
What you said was nothing changed.
No, my behavior didn't change.
Your behavior didn't change from the time they were both there.
Yeah, I was still.
Only your mother was there.
I was still a wayward child.
Are you still a wayward child?
Oh no, I can't afford to be a wayward child now. I'm 44
That's
years old.
not what I asked.
Yeah. Do you understand? No, I'm 44 years old. I'm not a child.
You're wayward at 44.
No, I'm not wayward at 44.
So.
You probably think that.
Let me ask you this. If fathers are in the home now, well, no, you said they don't have to be in their home to have a positive effect on the child. Is that correct?
If they're in their life.
Okay, how are they in their life if they're not in their home?
The kid can come over to the kid virtually has two homes. Has his mother's home and his father's home. And they spend time. Are you aware of joint custody cases in juvenile court?
Absolutely.
There you go. So now you learning something.
What does that prove?
If they have joint custody, that means they have a father in their life, right?
Well, every child has a father in his life because it takes.
Right? No, they don't. No, they do not. No, they do not.
Contributed to the good.
No, they do not. You're wrong. Every child doesn't have a father in their life.
Explain.
They don't.
Explain.
Some dads are not in their children's life at all.
What does that mean?
They're not there. They're dead. They may be in jail.
What he's saying,
they may be gone.
They made them doesn't mean they raised them.
Yeah. So a lot of them didn't. Some don't even know that they had babies. You know what I'm saying? It was a one-night stand, and you know what I'm saying? And the mother never informed them. That happens across the board. Are you aware of that?
Absolutely.
All right. All right.
Dan, I hate to cut you short, but these phone lines is lit up, and I wish I could
understand.
I wish I could talk about all the stuff that he because you don't believe in Christianity, but now I noticed that.
I didn't say that. I did not say that. I did not say that.
Now let me stand corrected. You don't proclaim to be a Christian.
I said I wouldn't categorize myself as a Christian.
Okay, what's say that?
What are you?
I'm black. I'm a
Besides that, what religion are you?
I mean, I may be more agnostic now.
I can tell.
Yeah, I may be. I'm not sure.
I can tell. You need to be sure yourself. If you ain't sure yourself,
are you sure?
There's no way you can be sure your conviction.
Are you sure?
Absolutely.
That's what you should worry about.
Absolutely. Carry on, Pastor Guy. Good luck.
All right.
And I noticed you said you're a liberal Democrat.
Mm-hmm.
So you down with the homosexual movement?
What you mean down with their movement? I'm not a homosexual.
No, I can tell that, Jonathan. Believe me, that never crossed my mind that you were homosexual. But I noticed when we were talking, you said guys are gay mean happy homosexual, and you immediately put up the argument they've been here since the beginning of time.
Yeah.
Okay, and so are pedophiles, but they ain't making laws for them either.
But that's a
child
and an adult. It's not two consenting adults.
You go through a whole lot of those.
No.
Hello, caller. Welcome to the show.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Hey, Pastor Rich.
Yeah.
It is so refreshing to hear the truth on a show called the Truth Radio Show.
I thought I'd bring something in here, man. We needed something.
I appreciate it, sir. Please believe me, I appreciate it. I listen to this show just about every day. And I'm listening and listening with the truth today.
Wait, hold on, other guy. For classical conditioning, we have a guest, Jonathan Richmond. He said that black father absenteeism is not the problem in the black community because black fathers are more involved in their children's lives than any other ethnicity. Okay, go ahead, other guy.
I agree with it.
I'm not surprised.
Hey, look. Listen, Richard. Yeah. I don't know. I know because he's a Chico joker, and I know he's not going to pay you, but he should pay you today.
I will pay him right now. No attention.
I received that check.
I'm going to get out this line, but I just wanted you to know that I really appreciate this conversation today.
All right, thanks, sir. And I'm going to tell you something, Jonathan, that I'm not naive for 1 minute. There are people that do subscribe to the way you think, to what you're saying, to your ideology. I'm very well aware of that.
No, it's data. It's facts.
Well, not just because it's data.
No, it's facts.
That doesn't because it's data. That doesn't make a perfect conclusion. I believe that experience will beat an argument every time.
Well, what's your experience across the country? Because these people have researched
my experience.
They've been paid to do this
across the country is that there is a cancer going on in the black community with the lack of fathers in these boys' life.
I think that's forced pathology you're putting on them.
I'm not forcing it. I mean,
you're trying because you seem like you were invested in that being the problem. No, listen to what I'm saying. Okay. You seem like that you are invested in that being the problem rather than looking at it in totality.
You have gotten me exactly correct.
That is not it.
I'm invested in that being the problem because
step back and look at the entire problem.
While you're doing your mentoring at your house, I'm doing it from a church that's in an urban community where I have to deal with these young men whose lives have been disrupted, whose lives have been destructed.
I used to be one of those men.
Okay, well, no, you weren't one of these men because you said your mom and daddy was together.
Yeah, they were, but I was still associated.
His children are suffering because.
Listen, man, I got kicked out of most schools here in Memphis.
Mm-hmm. Do you work?
Who, me?
Yeah. Where you work at?
Man, I work all over the world. I told you I'm a musician. I'm a professional musician.
Okay, what group do you play with?
I play with everybody. Right now, I'm with Eric Benet and
Eric Benet.
Yeah, and the jazz saxophonist Bonnie James.
Eric Benet is a big time star, ain't he?
Yeah.
And you play with Eric Benet.
I'm his musical director.
You the musical director. So if I go pull up Eric Benet, the musical director for Eric Benet, your name gonna come up.
It should.
Well, we finna find out.
I produced I wrote some songs on this record.
Well, we finna find out. Hold on.
Well, look, I ain't got the light to the record now. I'm full-fledged, man.
Who was the music director for Eric Benet? Let's see. Who's the director for Eric Benet? Let's see here. Okay, we're going to Eric Benet official site. Let's see here. I got a celebrity in the studio.
Yeah, they ain't going to tell you on that.
Oh, they not on his official site?
No, they ain't going to tell you on that, but I can show you. I can show you.
Yeah, show me. I want to see this now. Because I can't say it's a lie because I don't know. But I want to see this. I'm in the Mr. Royalty. What you got to show me?
Oh, I'm going to grab it. I'm going to show you a video when we was in Paris.
Okay, show me that.
Oh, I could do it like this.
And that would explain a lot to me, actually, with you being a musician, because musicians are very unique people, for lack of a better word. And
we use both sides of our brains.
901-452-3094 or 901-324-7490. We got about 5 minutes left. Let's see here.
That was in Paris.
Okay. There's a whole bunch of people and stuff. Now tell me we're going to get to you.
I'm with the camera. I got the camera.
You with the camera?
Yeah. I'm playing.
Wait, man, how you play? What instrument you play?
Keys.
How's you playing keys and you got the camera going all around the room?
I can have one hand, man. You know I can walk at your gun.
You scanning the camera with one hand
and playing. Yeah.
Jonathan.
I ain't new to this now. I'm true to this.
Jonathan, you know what? Now watch this. I can fly. The mouth will say anything.
Okay.
And I'm sitting there looking at this thing. When you sit there, whoever's holding that camera, they are not playing a musical instrument. They're sitting around here scanning the crowd.
Would you like to hear it?
We're not hearing it. Ain't gonna really prove even your point and stuff. But anyway, getting back to the subject at hand. So basically, if I take what you're saying, we got 5 minutes. If I take what you're saying, there's really no help needed in the black community because the fathers are there.
I did not say that.
No, I want to make a statement. I'm asking a question. The fathers are in their life. They're being instructed. So pretty much, let me see what you got there. That ain't every day.
It is.
Where?
What they doing?
Well, here's Bill. Here's a picture of you and every day. And you know what? And I'll take it back. Because you got one of those badges on the front that he has in order for you to get backstage. He might be telling the truth, y'all. He might be telling the truth. He might be telling the truth. Now, I believe this is a Truth Radio show. Got no problem with telling the truth. Let me catch this call right quick. Hello, caller. Welcome to the show.
Praise peace, Pastor. How you doing, man?
Hey, Jesus is Lord.
Yes, he is. Hey, I got a question. What's the gentleman's name again?
Jonathan Richmond.
Jonathan Richmond. Okay. The argument, and I'm just only sure clear. I've only been on tuned in for about the past 15 minutes. His argument is that his data shows that black fathers are prevalent in the homes.
It's not my data. What I said is the CDC.
I didn't say your data. See, you're argumentative. I said your argument.
Didn't he just say?
He just said your data. And he is correct. If you pull it up from the CDC, he's not making it up. The CDC does have a report that says black fathers are more active in their children's lives than any other ethnicity in America. Now, he's not making that up. I've seen the report. I just disagree with the report.
Okay, and I believe it was Dan a few calls ago when he asked the question about his father. You were saying that your parents were together when you were younger, but they divorced when you got older.
Yeah, I went from a two-parent household to a single-parent household.
Okay, so but you said also that you were still hell on wheels when you went to a single parent than you were when you had both parents.
Yeah.
So there was no change.
Not at all.
Okay.
You seem like you find it hard to believe.
I don't find it hard to believe. What I'm find it hard to believe is what's the basis of your argument. If there was no change and the father was there, and you were still the same when the father was.
Yeah, my point was, wayward children would be wayward whether they have a father in the home.
If the father's in the home, wayward children are an indicator of causing that waywardness. I gotta go though, man. We ain't got but 2 more minutes. Man, look, y'all, you like to show support the show so we can go to 2 hours where I can keep guys like Jonathan in the studio.
None of this smoke.
Man, you know I ain't backing up yet. Go to AndreGuy.com, click on Revelation Christian Center. That is you. He's showing me him on stage with Eric Benet playing the keyboard. That is he. I'm looking at it, and one thing, the truth. Jonathan, you got about 30 seconds to go ahead and give me your goodbye. We got many lives went past.
I done told y'all the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Anybody tell you anything other is a liar.
Y'all, I'm solo. This ain't no doing. God bless. I love y'all. We'll be back in here tomorrow. Thank you for coming, Jonathan.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Amen.
All right, God bless y'all. Go to AndreGuy.com. Click on Revelation Christian Center. Get us 2 hours, y'all. Get us 2 hours.